Okay, so I did a video a few days ago about the bifrost graph. It was without audio for some reason, but I thought I'll do a small series on these things. So I'll do a basic thing about the bifrost graph in this video, and then I'll follow it up with other things like how to get it to render in other renderers than Arnold. Get geometry out so you can modify it later, etc., etc. And of course, a lot about the Bifrost graph. Anyway, to get started on this, we need to load the Bifrost plugin, and it is living here in the plugin manager. Blah 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 blah. Bifrost something. I'm on 2202, and basically load the whole thing. You probably don't need boss, but well, anyway. So that will give you the boss thing here and the Maya Fluid graph or menu. And that's probably what you know. Bifrost liquids and Aero. The thing is that Bifrost, of course, was part of an acquisition that Autodesk did like 10 years ago, where they bought Naiad, which had a node-based system for doing fluid simulation and things like that. And it seems like now they have finally gotten the node-based version into Maya and actually into Max, and it looks like Houdini as well, because Bifrost is actually a separate product that can be used across different platforms. Anyway, let's go to Bifrost, and we have these buttons here. But the important thing here is that we have like the Bifrost graph window, this one, like so, and there's nothing here right now. And this is where we do our work. There's also a content browser or a preset browser where you can get like examples of different Bifrost graph solutions. So let's just go and take a smoke thing like this one, import, and you can see that the graph looks like this. This is the graph for the smoke trail effect. So quite nice. You can check it out yourself. So I don't want to go too deep into that, but basically what I end up with is this Bifrost graph node, and it contains everything. So if I rewind and I press, oh, there we go, and I press play, then this thing will start to animate. Let's zoom in there and zoom out a bit. So you can see it's emitting smoke into the simulation, and this actually looks really nice, and in Arnold it renders really nice as well. Yeah, that's one of the things I'll look at, how to get some of these effects into other renderers. I really like RenderMan, for instance, so that's it. Anyway, let's jump over quickly, and because I want these to be short videos, and make an example of how to do a small particle effect like I did in the first video. Create a new graph. So I have this input thing. Everything you plug into this will be an option on this node here. So I don't have anything there yet, but maybe I'll create something. And the output node is whatever I'll put into the world. I want this to emit from a cube. Create a polygon cube. And I'll middle mouse button drag it over here. So now I have a link between this thing and this thing. And I want to create I want to create an emission from this, and I could do that myself. This is a bit like new. I hit the tab bar, and I can go like source particles. So here. So this is a source particles node, so I can plug that in there, and it'll start there, and it'll start to emit particles. And then I need to set up a whole lot of other things. But particles is one of the things that is probably a little further along than more than other things in the bifrost graph. So they actually have something like basic particle graph. See, there's something for combustion as well, and for aero. So I get this, and I can double click to go into this graph. You can see there's sort of like a sub compound graph, and I get this breadcrumb thing up here. But what I'll do is I'll right click that and go explode, and that will reveal to me all of the contents inside my graph. So I have this, I have the particle source, I have the colliders, I have the settings for my simulation, and I have my simulation node. So I want the emission to be the cube, so I'll plug it in there. And to get any output, see, this will give no output at the moment. Nothing happens. To get output, I need to plug this into my output node. You can see, oh, something happened. And if I press play, you can see it starts to emit. So I grab that, just move it up a little bit, like so, a little more, so like that. And then I'll create a polygon sphere. There, I'll move that up a little bit, and I'll make that a bit bigger, like this. And I'll drag that in as well. There, and I'll make that a collider. There we go. Oh, yeah. And hopefully that would then mean that if I rewind and press play, it should collide. There you go. And if I pop back, and I'll just grab the collider here and make sure that it doesn't bounce, like so. Set the bounciness to 0. And let's just close this. And then I'll get something that looks a little more like water flowing. And just to make this a little more fun, I'll go back in here. Ooh, it's not loaded. And click on the plus up here, grab the graph, go to the simulation, oh sorry, the particle servo settings, and I'll turn on self-collision, like so. So now they will self-collide, and it will look a little bit more like sort of like a watery, splashy thing. So this will render quite nicely in Arnold. So just grab, say, Arnold renderer, maybe add some light. Where is the tab? It's there. Just go there and render this. And let's go to color. Oh, not that one. That one. So you can see it will render nicely in Arnold. Of course, it's a little boring, but it renders, and the smoke will do the same. But if I pop into something like RenderMan um, here, because this is a renderer I really like, and I'll put on some it's basically the same thing like a dome light, and I'll just render this in RenderMan, so it'll pop up my IT. And you can see I'll get the sphere and I'll get the cube, but I'm not getting any particles because they're not getting through to the other side. So that's one of the things I'll look at as well in the next video. So basically this is it. So get started, look at the examples, and I'll be back in the next video where I'll talk about one of the other solvers and how to get this into to RenderMan. The same thing will go for things like V-Ray, etc. I'll assume. I haven't tried it in V-Ray, but I don't think they have support for this yet. Maybe I'm wrong.